say. Surveying. The middle incomplete. Worthy. Xavier Worthy.
Considering that Jordan Love got injured last year and that did not look really much better, and it seems like a little bit different to say the least. Anyway, they'll roll the shenanigans.
Fourth largest city tonight with a storied AFC West rivalry. Welcome to Corinthians Arena and the Tron Ares free kick. That's a wide open receiver, Quentin Johnston. A nice gain down the right sideline. And the charge. Herbert's throwing it. Steps up for the end zone. Touchdown, Quentin Johnston. Herbert over the middle to a wide open Will Dissly. Tyler Conklin actually for Cameron Dicker. Flag is thrown. Third down. Always loose. Mahomes, of course, picks it up. Gets it to Brown. Cannot get the first. Mahomes from the pocket steps up. Pirouettes. And that's where he's taken down by
Jason down and get him to the ground.
Harrison Butker looking for the 35-yarder, and he 6-yarder for Dicker. And he draws that in to make it a 10-point game.
Somebody runs you out of bounds.
What can Mahomes do with that gift? Going deep for Thornton. That's a connection. Now, will they get it off? They do. Butker from 59. It's good. Mahomes stepping up. Lots of room. Mahomes takes advantage and takes another in the red zone. Pump fakes. Mahomes looking for the end zone. Touchdown. What happens here? It's a handoff. Hampton, does he get it? He does. For the end zone, there's Keenan Allen. Touchdown. Los Angeles Chargers. Of Travis Kelce, the last drive, did not get kicked out as Mahomes gets out of trouble, flips it to Juju Smith-Schuster. Los Angeles 37, Mahomes with pressure, finds a wide open Travis Kelce, touchdown. Kelce is off the field. Mahomes to his right, quick throw, and that is a successful two-pointer, no incomplete. Herbert's throwing, fading back, over the middle, Johnston, touchdown Chargers. Mahomes running for his life from Khalil Mack, throws to wide open Hollywood Brown, inside the 10. Going to make it a one-score game again, and right down the middle, and they are going to throw it. And it's Herbert to his right with a wide open lane, and he picks it up and slides down in bounds. What a night for Justin Herbert.
And with that, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Fun NFL. Please like and subscribe if you guys enjoy the NFL Sao Paulo game. Yeah, recap, takeaways, whatever it was. You guys saw the highlights from this game. It was overall a pretty decent matchup, or game overall. Both these teams are going to have a little bit of a break before, again, well, not before they travel back to the US. Hopefully they do that pretty soon. I wouldn't want to stay around in the city. But, yeah. Again, also a big thing in context to what we might be having next year. I don't think it'll be in Sao Paulo. I think it'll be in Rio, so just going to put that out there. But, again, first game for YouTube. I don't think they got the greatest viewership. I think what they wanted to get. But still, it was a free game. It was kind of cool to watch some of this stuff. It was pretty ridiculous for some of the stuff, but they had a halftime show and all. But for this actual game, because that's why we're here, the Chiefs, for only the second time ever, dating back to 2023, when they lost to the Lions in that kickoff game, and the Kadarius Toney dropped to the pick six from rookie Brian Branch, when again he was a rookie that year. Again, only the second time Mahomes has ever lost an opener. Jim Harbaugh, I guess, is better. He's 6-0 and openers as an NFL head coach. That's pretty good as well. But for the Chiefs, again, this was a game that they just really never got going completely on offense. Again, Mahomes was really off kilter a lot of the games in terms of his progressions and also his footwork. Again, I'm not talking like, again, obviously he's like, what is it, his 8th, 9th year starting. Again, it's like, who really cares? But like, it was definitely an effect this offense. And again, they really didn't run the ball well. Josh Simmons was underwhelming. A lot of things we'll get into in a minute. But yeah, that's sort of the main things I noticed for the Chiefs. Again, they're going to host the Eagles next week. The Chargers will, I think they're heading to Vegas for the second game, closing out week 2 on Monday Night Football. Again, there's a doubleheader. We'll get to that. by the end of towards the end of next week. But with that said, yeah, the Chargers control most of the way, and again, there were just a lot of plays where the Chiefs kind of left it on the field, and again, like I said, there was a lot of penalties they got into. But Mahomes, like I said specifically, again, he was really off kilter a lot of the game. I didn't really like some of the reads he made. He didn't really take the easy pass all the time. Again, I know they just try to create a little bit more of a big play culture in this offense, but how is that really going to happen when, again, you run the ball, 11 times? Again, that's just not going to get you anywhere. I understand Xavier Worthy got into it. It's kind of harder to run the football, again, with not having that, like, true deep threat. But overall, guys, like, Mahomes, again, you did a good job scrambling. I'll give him that. But, like, this offense just didn't really seem to have any rhythm because, again, they didn't really establish a ground game. Again, the fact, with those penalties and the fact they were really bad on third down, which is something we're never used to saying about the Chiefs. Again, it wasn't until late in the game, again, when they actually – I don't even know if they late in the game until they converted a third down in the second half. I don't even know if they did, though, to be honest with you guys. Mahomes overall, though, again, he made some crazy plays. We all saw those. But, like, realistically, yeah, it was not his best game, to say the least. Receiving-wise, Hollywood Brown got open consistently. He, again, had, like, 1 or 2 drops, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But, again, he did a decent job. He's really the only guy that was consistently making plays. Juju was okay in the slot. Travis Kelce, outside of that 37-yard touchdown, was kind of non-existent. He was actually a decent blocker, though, on this one. I'll say that. Tyquan Thorne made 1 big play, really didn't do anything else. And then, again, the running backs got targeted on checkdowns. Noah Gray really wasn't out there that much. And then Charles Omenihu, I guess he got in there as well. Again, but Xavier Worthy, again, that was a pretty big game changer. Him absolutely obliterating his shoulder on the first play of the game. In terms of the injury, I think it's a pretty rough one. It didn't look very good. I think there's like an MRI scan they're doing today. I'll have more updates on that again as the week goes along. But I just wanted to say that again, probably on for the Sunday recap coming out on Monday at some time. You'll probably get an update on that. At least from me, you can always see that as well. Anyway, though, the defense of the Chiefs overall, they weren't really bad. I just don't think their zone coverage wasn't exactly the most effective overall. I do think that Steve Spagnuolo definitely could look back at that and maybe try to adjust some things. But Drew Tranquil did a really good job as a blitzer. I think he had like 8 or 9 total, and he had like at least 6 pressures. After that, though, George Karlaftis had one of his worst games of his career. I understand he had a sack and the pressure rate wasn't exactly bad, but he was very undisciplined, and he was actually pretty atrocious against the run, too. So, he again, on film, it looked really bad, too. So, I like to see a little bit of a bounce-back game from him again, especially against a much more disciplined Eagles O-line. Outside of that, though, I don't really know, guys. Jalen Tiller looked decent. Both corners weren't that bad. Jalen Watson was a pretty big playmaker as well in this one. Overall, no one really played out of their minds on defense, though, which is part of the reason they did lose. Harrison Butker, though, again, outside of missing the extra point, crazy play at the end of that first half of that 59-yard field goal. Again, for the Chiefs, again, I said it in that, again, in the thumbnail, guys. Again, I'm not, like, again, it just doesn't really see, like, again, something just feels different about this Chiefs team. Again, Xavier Worthy getting injured, I understand that. But again, we look at, like, how they lost the Lions, like, oh, that was just a terrible loss. This is just a game. I just don't think they were the better team in this one, to be honest with you. I think you legitimately say the Chargers are a better team, especially from what we saw in this one. Realistically, probably not. I think they'll be fine. But again, the Chiefs have never started out 0-2. I'll definitely talk about this more next week. But the Eagles are coming in off of an even longer mini-bye. That is going to be a fun game to watch because it'll be early to see how the Chiefs respond. For the Chargers, though, they have a very good chance of starting out 2-0 for, what is it now, the second straight season. Justin Herbert looked very, very precise and accurate. He looked really confident out there. Wasn't trying to push the envelope at all in terms of we're talking about downfield. Again, really good over the middle, though, in that intermediate part of the field. Again, it wasn't like his receivers were exactly getting the most open either. He ran into a lot of times where he had to audible things and try to adjust, and I really like what he did with that. Didn't really know like in the specifics. I'm not in that huddle or don't know the playbook and stuff. But from what I saw, he did do a good job with that. In terms of this running game, Mariana Hampton was tough, but again, really didn't get much going. Najee Harris only got 1 carry. I thought he was still injured. Really don't know what's going on there. Justin Herbert, though, again, he had that huge scramble at the end of the game. Again, that clinched the win for them. Big-time players make big-time plays, and that's what he did in this one. Quentin Johnson looks like an entirely different player. 2 touchdowns, 5 catches, 79 yards. Props to him. Ladd McConkey did, again, typical stuff from his fantasy. Would like to see a little bit more production next week, though. Keenan Allen, again, he looked, again, a blast from a pass a little bit. There were some plays where he actually really did put... Who was it even? Christian Fulton, I think that's who he's on skates a little bit. Tyler Conklin on 1 big play. Outside that, though, no one really was too effective. I would like to see Amari and him getting a little bit more involved as a receiver, but overall, the whole pass catching group had a pretty good game. And also the O-line, I really liked the way they influenced the line of scrimmage and dictated the way they were going to play early, established that, which I think is really, really good. If they can do that next week as well, that should be a good way for them to win. For this defense, I don't know. They all played disciplined. There's really nothing else for me to go off of outside the fact that, again, Tear Tart, yeah, he was out there. He definitely didn't do anything else, especially with Travis Kelce. But yeah, that was not smart. Khalil Mack didn't really get much pressure though. I don't know, Dante Jackson got tossed on that one play. Dan Henley was in coverage. He also had a sack, so again, really showing a little bit more dynamic play from him. Cam Hart and whereas Taheeb still were also good in coverage. I don't really have too much else to go off of because I don't think outside of that one play that bomb they gave up to when Hollywood Brown was wide open. They did a really good job of keeping everything in front of them, making it hard on Mahomes to try to make those big plays. Digger, the kicker, was good. Team stats, though, again, the Chargers outgained them by a decent amount. Big thing, though, on third down, the Chiefs only went 5 of 14. This is something that they have been by far the best in the NFL at since Mahomes has shown up. This was one of the games where it just didn't really happen. 10 penalties as well hurt them a lot. Again, the Chargers controlled most of this game as well. Props to them. They got the Week 1 win. They have a really good shot starting out 2-0. Chiefs, we'll see. That's all I got for you guys here. And again, get ready for the Sunday preview coming up tomorrow.
Here, Jim.
Oh, here we go. Will they get the rush on him? Rolling out, looking for options. Throws it off his back foot, and it's intercepted.